There's a popular teaching today that if you have faith, you will only experience health, wealth, and happiness. It's prosperity theology. But the problem is, that's only half of the equation. There's another side of faith that involves endurance, involves suffering, involves sacrifice. Let's read Hebrews chapter 11, and I'm going to start in verse 32. And what more shall we say? For the time would fail me to tell of Gideon and Barak and Samson and Jephthah and David and Samuel and the prophets. Listen, who through faith subdued kingdoms, worked righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions, quenched the violence of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, out of weakness were made strong, became valiant in battle, turned to flight the armies of the enemy. Wow, that's amazing. Women receive their dead raised to life again. Yes, faith has a miraculous, powerful, glorious, wonderful side, but that's not all. Look at the rest of verse 35. Others were tortured, not accepting deliverance that they may obtain a better resurrection. Others had the trial of mockings and scourgings, and yes, chains and imprisonment. They were stoned. They were sawn in two. They were tempted. They were slain with a sword. They wandered about in goatskins and sheepskins, being destitute, afflicted, tormented. Wow, that's tough. That's consistent obedience and endurance in the face of the intolerable. This is grown-up faith. This is real faith. This is faith that God says in verse 38, of whom the world was not worthy. These are the real heroes of faith, the people we don't even know their names because they were killed for the cause of Christ. They were set aside and stuck in prison because of their faith in Jesus Christ. It says, and all these, having obtained a good testimony through faith, did not receive the promise. You know, sometimes faith is going to lead to you receiving your miracle, but sometimes faith is when you're not receiving your miracle and you're still trusting and obeying God anyway. And you know that chapter divisions are not part of the original writings of Scripture, and so chapter 11 flows naturally into what we call chapter 12. Now listen to what it says. Therefore, we also, since we're surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin that so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus. Now listen, Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, how did he express it? What does it say? Just by miracles, by health, wealth, and prosperity? Look at what it says. Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame. He went through terrible suffering. When it talks about the faith of Jesus, it's associated with hardship, suffering, pain, sacrifice. It's at a great cost. I don't know what God might be calling you to, but if God's calling you to a season of suffering and pain and sorrow and sacrifice, keep your eyes focused on Jesus, because that is the faith that God is so pleased by. He says, of this world, you're beyond this world. You're the people I'm really looking for.